Hello Craftaholics, and if this is your first time here, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Peggy, and welcome to my studio. Even if you have never made a greeting card, or if you're just a beginner, I am going to show you some quick and easy techniques that you can use with minimal supplies to make all of your greeting cards for this holiday season. And the first supply that you need is cardstock. These are for our card bases. And this is from Hobby Lobby, and it's a good variety of Christmas colors. And this is their heavyweight, which is 80 pound, and that's a good weight for the cards that we're making today. And I did not pay $10.99. Every other week, Hobby Lobby has a sale on the Paper Studio products, and they are 50% off. So I only paid $5.50 for this, which is a really good deal. That's actually where I get probably like 98% of my cardstock from anyway. Another cardstock that I'm using today for card bases, this is called Craftaholics, and it is from Walmart in their stationery section where they have like the packages of computer paper. They also have this. I'm not sure how many sheets, but it was only a couple dollars. But it is also a nice thick sturdy cardstock. So I'll be using that also for bases. Okay. The other cardstock you need is something decorative. And you're going to want to get one of these paper pads that they have at like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, all those. They usually have about 48 sheets, like this one, and there's 24 designs, 2 of each. Now, I will say Hobby Lobby, I've gotten some recently that actually have more paper, but has like 3 sheets of each paper, but they don't have one of the things that you definitely need is a paper pad with cut-aparts. And I have not been finding them in the real thick books, but that's one thing you want to be on the lookout is a paper pad that has cut-aparts like this in different sizes, because you're going to need that for what we're doing today. And it also has, you also need pages where you can cut parts out, or like, you know, with a whole pattern, just a good variety of imagery in the pad. And one thing that you want to make sure of, let me get to the page here, is that you have a page like this. Now, a lot of people will use this as one sheet, but I cut each section apart and use it for decoration, and you see that in some of the samples that I have for you. But you just want a really good variety of images. Okay. So now that you have your paper, you need something to cut it with. And you can, it can be as simple as just a pair of scissors, or a paper trimmer. And they have different kinds. This is from Cricut, which I think they do sell this one at Walmart. And they have other brands like by Westcott at Walmart. And all it is, there's a groove and a blade. You line up your paper. There's always an arm that pulls out. You line up your paper with where you need to make your cut, and you just run the blade along your paper. Okay. Now, once you have your card bases cut, you need to fold them in half. You need to score them first and then fold them in half. Now, to score them, you can do something like buy a scoreboard, which this one is by EK Tools. And what it is, you take it comes with a scoring tool, but I took that out a long time ago because I don't use the plastic one. But I have a bone folder, and I also have a scoring tool. And what you do, you put your paper in, and where you want it scored, you simply just run your tool and right along the lines, whether it's whichever it may be. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard and you're not ready to make the investment, because while they're not expensive, it's still an investment. What you can do is, like I said, your cutting tool, paper trimmer, has a divot right here where the blade goes. You can take, if you have one of the tools to score with, you can line your paper up to wherever you need to score it, and just run your tool along the line. If you don't have a scoring tool or a bone folder, you can even take something like a pair of tweezers. And I wouldn't use this end because it's sharp and you might cut your paper. But the back end of this one is rounded, and it's also like coated a little bit. And you can just run that right down there too to make your score line. If you don't have a paper trimmer and you just have your scissors to use to cut, what you can do, get a ruler and get, again, either a butter knife, like using the back of it, the back side, or your tweezers again. You can mark on your paper where to score, and then just run this a few times up and down your ruler. And again, you're going to end up with a nice score line to get a nice clean fold. And I'll show you about that in a minute. What you'll also need is some way to attach your decorative pieces to your card base. So I am using glue. I have Fabri-Tac handy. And I also have, this is Barely Art Glue, which the bottle I got at Dollar Tree and the cap I got on Amazon. But it's just for me because I have, if this is your first time here, I have a lot of problems with my hands. They're not very, my right one especially, and I'm right-handed, isn't very strong anymore. So this is a very flexible bottle, and it's easier for me to squeeze. So that's why that is there. You're also going to need some simple things like possibly a hole punch, because I cut out tags on there. So you'll need a hole punch to punch the hole. Extra things you might want is like some little sticky gems. Now these I got on Amazon, and whatever I can link, if I remember in the description, I will. But you can also get like the sticky gems at Dollar Tree. You're gonna need, it's good, well this is all twisted now, but some type of ribbon. These I got at Michael's. They were on clearance, and this is from Dollar Tree. And then, I mean, you might also want something like some rickrack or some other type of gems or something that you can stick on your card. But those are optional. Okay. Now, the first card that I'm going to show you, this is my first sample, is this one. And it's really cute. Right? Love the poinsettia on there. And then inside, it's just white to write on. Now, this is right from... Okay, sorry about that. That was from the white. I apologize. All I did, now in the pad, I used one sheet to make everything. And let me show you. Let me pull that if I can find it real quick. There it is. This is the sheet that I use to make all of my samples with for you. And all this is... Now, a regular greeting card is, regardless of how you turn it, it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So normally you just take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and you cut it in half at 5.5 inches, score it in the middle, there you go. Well, that's what I did. I cut off this side, I cut it 5.5 inch wide piece, and then I cut it down to 8.5. I scored it in the middle and made my card. And these are white on the back. Whoops, that's what did it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make anybody nauseous. So, I have one to show you. Okay. I chose the page I showed you that had the snowman in the corner. I took the snowman. Sorry, the color is pretty close to the backing, and I apologize for that. And I measured it, and I cut as close as I could. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I cut it, now, since our card base is 4 1/4. Oh, I did cut it. No, yeah, I did, because it's going to be a card base. So it's 4 1/4 and 11 inches long, okay? So what I'm going to do is grab my scoreboard, and I'm going to put this in long ways, or landscape. So the 11-inch side is along the top. I'm going to take my bone folder, and since I know this is 11 and half of 11 is 5.5, I'm going to score at 5.5. And I am scoring with it up because when you score, a little more in depth than I meant to go today, but you're kind of training the fibers to start to bend. And you want to go this way, but the fibers really want to bend this way. So score it on the side you want to look at, fold it over. This is what a bone folder's for. You make a nice crisp line, and there you go. It's all white on the inside for you to write your sentiment, but that right there can be your card, and it's really pretty, and even the back has some decoration on it. Now, if you want to get a little fancier, just with the plain card, you can get something, if you want to invest a little bit, this is, you can get Wink of Stella, or this is a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. And what it does, you have to shake them really, really good. Okay. And these, if you get one, they always are stored standing up because they will leak and it'll be a mess. For something like this, you could take, like, his hat. If I want to make it a little sparkly looking, you just color, I need to put my glasses, I can't see. I can't find my glasses either. But you take your pen and you just kind of color in on where you want the sparkle. It's only if you want to add a little bit to what you have. But when it dries, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it gives a bit of a shimmer. There you go. See, it gives a little bit of a shimmer. So you could actually color all the snowmen or something with something like this, just to add a little bit more, but you don't have to. Or you can just leave it plain, like I did with the poinsettia card, and there's our first card. And for an envelope, you can, even at Walmart, they have them in the scrapbooking aisle. You can buy boxes of envelopes. And they're called A2 envelopes. They are for regular note cards that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You can find them there. You can find them at the craft stores, even on Amazon. So that's our first idea. Very simple. You could honestly even take the pages that are just covered with, like the one that had the presents all over it. You can just cut that down, fold it in half, and there you go. You've got your cards. Now, to go a little bit more, like another maybe little step, what I did on this one is, which way does it open? This way. I cut a portion of that page. Like I said, I used all one page. I kind of challenged myself to using just the one page. Now this card opens up this way. So what I did was I cut the 8 1/2 in half this way, scored it in the middle, and I just glued the piece on the front to make a cute little card. So for this, I took a piece of the red cardstock and I cut it in half. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in where it is 8 1/2 inches long. And I'm going to score it. Half of 8 1/2 is 4 1/4. So I'm going to score that at 4 1/4. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to crease my card. Now, there's my card base. Okay? Now, I took this page and I measured it out. I tried to get it nice and lined. And all you're going to do with this to give yourself a nice little border is cut off like 1/4 inch. So this is 4 1/4. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So instead of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, it's 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm getting an 1/8 of an inch border around my card. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to, I told you these are quick and these are easy. Just going to put some glue on here. Sorry if it's going in and out of focus. I'm trying to work on that and it's just not cooperating with me. But then line it up in the center. And there you go. Now I got a little bit of glue seepage. So I have, this is called an adhesive eraser. And this is just from Dollar Tree. And all it does, it erases that glue to give you a nice clean project. Okay, now if you have like a white marker, you can write in, or a gold or silver, you can write in color, or you can take a piece of white cardstock, or even this, well, this wouldn't really go with that, but you can take a piece of white cardstock, you can cut it the same size as this, the 4 by 5 1/4, and just glue it on the inside. Then you have a white space to write on. Okay, there is our second card. And look, we're only 14 minutes in. And I'm jabbering away, but there you go. Now, the third card, it's a little, each one is like a little bit more involved, okay? This was my third card. And it opens this way. But all I did, I took a strip of my paper, and then I took one of the tags and I put some ribbon on it. Now when I go to put it in an envelope, I'll actually fold it over this way and tuck it in the envelope. But I did nothing but glue and knot something. And there you go, an adorable card. So to do something like this, I cut out another one of the tags, popped a hole in it, and I cut another strip. I'm doing the exact same card, okay? So for this one, let me put these down where you can see them there for reference, okay? We're gonna do it again this way, so I'm gonna put my card in at 8.5, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4. Okay, turn that over, fold my card, and burnish it. And again, if you don't have a bone folder, you can use the back, the dull edge of a butter knife, and you can score this just fine. Or you can even, if you just have scissors, okay, well I wouldn't use it. You can take your scissors and you can score this way too, okay? Don't need to have the fancy tools to start with. Now here's my card, okay? And again, if you, even on this, you could cut out a piece of white card and put it in there to write on. But this one, I did it all the way top to bottom. This, I left a little bit of a border, okay? So first thing I'm gonna do is stick on my, make sure your card is opening the right way so you don't accidentally glue on the wrong side. And I'm just gonna add some glue. You don't need a whole lot. You don't need to saturate the whole back with glue. Just, I don't know if you can see, but I just have a little bit of glue. And then I am going to give it about 1/8 of an inch border on the top and on the sides. You want this border to be equal to what this is when it's in the middle, so it doesn't look kind of wonky-ish. Now for this, like I said, I already punched out the hole. I'm gonna take a piece of this ribbon, I think. And it is still got the plastic on it. You see, come on. The first trick is to get the actual plastic off. With my hands not wanting to work, this is not that easy of a task right now. Should have done this pre-video. I apologize, guys. I usually don't have issues with this. I'm going to cut the plastic off. And again, this one's just from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take just a piece. I know it's way too much, but sometimes it's hard to fold and you need a little bit to work with. So all I'm doing, I folded it in half, okay? And I'm bunching up the end. I'm going to put it through from the front to the back. So my ribbon is this way, okay? Then I'm going to open up this hole. I'm going to take the tails, pull them through, and then just pull it tight. Then I'll kind of tug on one side and then the other and try to kind of manipulate that into looking a little neater than it is. There you go. Okay. It's still too long, so I'm just going to hold it up here and just kind of snip. And there you go. There are your little tails, okay? Then I'm just going to, just like the other one, I am going to put some glue on the back. I should have put more glue in here. One thing, when you're working with Fabri-Tac, when the bottle starts to get about halfway empty, it gets thick and kind of hard to work with sometimes. So if you just put more glue in there, more Fabri-Tac, like from another bottle, it'll be fine. It's just when it gets low, it's really, really hard to work with. But I'm just going to put this in the middle and kind of manipulate it to the middle, up and down, side to side. There we go. And again, just like the other one, when I go to put it in an envelope, I'll just fold these down. But there you go. Another easy card. And doesn't that look adorable? I think it does. Okay. So now there's 3 cards already and we're only going on 20 minutes. Not bad. Okay, our next example is a little more in depth again, but this is just using a little bit of foam tape. I don't know if you can see it down in there. There you go, it's holding that up. And these are cut aparts and some gemstones. And on the inside, again, it's just cut aparts for where to write on. Very simple again. So, the one that we're gonna make, it's a little more in depth than the last one. Again, it doesn't like white cardstock. Okay. Again, I cut my paper long ways. I got my 11-inch side this way. And I'm going to score at 5.5 because that's in the middle. Oop. Okay. And I'm going to fold that over. There we go. Okay. Now I can get rid of this because I'm not going to need it anymore. All right. It may be the scoreboard it doesn't like. I'm not sure. Anyway, now for this, I have a piece of the blue snowflake that's going to live right there. Okay. Now, let's put him down. He's the base of everything. So I'm going to glue it right down. Now, if you don't want to glue this flat, okay, like I'm doing, okay, oops, I'll get him in a second. Let me put this down here. Okay. If you don't want to glue that flat down, this is another one that I had made. And what I did was I have a cut apart I cut down. It is sitting on another piece on the card base, and they're both popped up with the tape. So you can also do that. And again, on the inside, it's just cut aparts and some jemmies. So you can also bump that up if you want to. Okay. But what we're gonna do now for some of the decorations, I have done, if you're new to paper crafting, I've done what's called fussy cutting. Okay, and that is simply cutting out images. So what I did, okay, here we go. I'm trying not to drop everything in behind me on the floor. I took this sheet that has all these snow people on it, and I cut out, what you want to do is cut an image out. It's really, you can get intricate or you can just do it really, really simply. Okay, so I cut an image out. Okay, got this little snow kiddo. Okay, now for this I do, if I can find my glasses, they would really help, but I don't know where they are. Okay, can't find the glasses. No big deal. I'm gonna wing it. Okay. You can use any pair of scissors. Now, these are actually cutter bee scissors, and they are for detailing like something like this. But all you do, take a pair of scissors, and it's easiest if you kind of have it on an angle so you can see what you're doing. But all you're going to do is, it's so simple. You're just cutting around, leaving a bit of a border around your image that you're going to use. Doesn't have to be perfect. But, just make yourself happy with how it looks. So I'm just cutting around, and move your paper, not your scissors. You get a cleaner cut that way. So I'm just cutting around. Now you can also cut it without a border. It just takes a little more practice. And this is not easy for me, like I said, with my hands that hurt, but I just want to show you just how simple it is, though. If I do something intricate, I won't be able to do that on camera. But you can cut it, like I said, so there's no border at all, and just cut it right off. But this is the easiest. When you're starting out, easiest way. And this is something you can pick like a sheet of images and just sit there like while you're watching TV one night or something, and just go ahead and cut them all out. And see, that is what you end up with. So cute. Okay. And we're going to throw that away, the trash away. So now, I've got my base down here. I've got this one that came in that says Snow Blessed. And I'm going to use it, but now if you put it right on there, it kind of fades into nothing. So I've got my foam tape. And all I'm going to do, these scissors, okay. All I'm going to do is, I know you can't see because I'm blocking it, but just putting a little bit there. And I'm using scissors that are non-stick so that none of the adhesive will stay on them. So don't use a good pair of scissors for cutting something like this. You just want to use something, like I said, non-stick scissors if you can. And these Westcoats, I got these at Walmart as well. So I'm just going to, you don't need to put this much. I just like to do it. I like it a little more solid. I'm just going to put one strip in the middle. Now, if you have like the foam dots or something, just put a few around, just in key points, so it sits up nicely. Okay, now what I'm going to do, again, make sure you have your card sitting the right way. And either with a pokey tool, which, that's what this is, has a pokey end, or with your fingernail, just pull up the backing, if you can. Sorry, I was looking away. Well, that didn't work. That's one thing I noticed with this foam tape. I need to be really careful with it because the backing will kind of separate and not all come off at once. But, okay. Oh, come on. My fingers aren't working. My arm is really sore today, so. Okay, so now we have this. Now, a good trick if you want to be, if you're nervous about your placement, you can take a glue stick, okay? To give you a little wiggle room on something like this, just run your glue stick over your foam tape here. Now this will dry and then your foam tape will adhere and it will dry even stronger. This just gives you, in case it's a little crooked, you can fix it really quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to line this up. So I'm going to turn it upside down actually to do it so I can see a little bit better. So, because I don't want to get my head in the way. I'm going to try to do it sideways. There you go. So the same border here as I do on the sides. Now, with that little bit of tape, see how it's bumped up just enough. I mean, you could even put another layer if you want to. I think that's might be a little excessive, but it just adds a little bit of definition. Or you can even take, if you have a marker, you can carefully put like blue around the outside if you wanted to. But one layer of tape is sufficient. Then we've got our snow people. Because this one says Snow Blessed. And I am going to put these two on the front. And I'm also going to pop them up with some tape. You don't have to, but I'm going to just to give a little bit of definition. So I am going to just strategically put some of my foam tape, you know, where you can't really see it, but it's still going to bump up the image a bit and give us some definition. Oops, he's slipping. Okay. There's that one, and then let's do this one. Like I said, don't cover the whole back and don't come to the edges because you'll be able to see it, and you really don't want it seen, really. Well, I came a little bit close to the edge there. Let me fix that because you can kind of manipulate it a little bit. All right, let me chop a little bit of the end off because it's a little close. You just, oops. You know what? I'll use this right here on the hand, actually, right here, or on the arm. There we go. You just don't want anyone to see the tape under there. I mean, you know, they're gonna, if they pick it up and look, they're gonna see it anyway, but you don't want it to be the first thing that is seen. There we go. So just a little bit. Let me get that out of the way. I always stick my extra little pieces on the outside. If I just need a tiny piece, I just grab it right off of there. Okay. And then these, I'm gonna lay them and kind of see, okay, kind of where I want them. And then peel the backs off. Okay, see how quick and easy these are? I mean, you can, if you pre-cut everything, you can whip a bunch of these out in no time. And they're homemade, which, how cool is that? Okay, we're gonna put her kind of right there. Okay, then take the little boy, I think it's a boy, girl, it doesn't matter. Take the other little snow one, little snow boy, girl, person. Okay. Right there. Okay, now that's really, really cute. Okay, but what you can do again, now if you have your Wink of Stella or that type of pen, you can quickly go over like the words if you wanted to, or not even all the way. Just a little bit to add some bit of sparkle. If you want to, you don't have to. And this, I just ordered these on Amazon. Okay, we could do that if we want to. Give a little bit of a shimmer. Or you can just take your sticky gems. And you know, she's got 4 buttons on her coat. So let me take black, if I can get them here, some black gems. And just mimic her buttons. Don't know why I'm saying things twice. I apologize. Nah, okay, that was a joke. Let's see. Come on, little guy. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm having a little bit of a struggle here. Okay. The buttons on her coat. And you could also, you could do on her cheeks if you wanted to, or you can even add some on her little outfit. And let's do, let's do some green to match her gloves, actually. I'm going to use this, oops, okay, I don't know where that one went. It flew away. I'm just going to put, just so they both have some sparkle, I'm going to give her some buttons. And like I said, I'm making them match her little gloves, her little mittens. Okay, I do not know where that one went. It went rogue. Okay, so now we have the front. And you can also, if you want to, you can take some of the clear gems and maybe in the middle of some of the snowflakes here. On the top, just so it has a little something something. You can put little gems in the middle of the snowflakes. Okay. So now there's our cover. Really, really cute. And then when you open it, I also have these. Now I had this little snow person I was going to put here. And I thought that the little cat was really, really cute. So I've got those. I can either put up there, but I think I'm going to actually put them down here near the bottom. Just a little something on the inside since it's so white and so stark white inside. So I will glue that one there. And then you just write around them. It's very, you know. And let's put the little kitty cat down. Okay, got a little bit of glue. Use my eraser. A little bit more here. Not a big deal. And you can also take the one, I can also take the one that we just cut out, and I can actually put it up there if I wanted to. We'll do that. Why waste him? He's sitting there all lonely now because everybody else is gone. Okay. We'll put him up here in the corner. And now again, to bring a little bit of life on the inside, you could take red. Use the medium-sized red ones. And I'm going to just cover up the berries on the bush. So a little bit of sparkle. You don't have to do every one if you don't want to. You just do a couple of them. But it just adds a little something. A little something, something. There you go. I'm just doing the red ones. So there's a little bit of glitz when you open it up. But that is the finish of that one. And there you have it in like a half hour. And that's just because I was blabbing my mouth. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 greeting cards that are perfect for anyone, and they're really simple and took really no time and not many supplies. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and please like and share. Well, no thumbs up is like whatever. And please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, because I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can only do it with your help. But now that the PSA is done, I hope that you go out and buy some paper and you try to do some of these. If you do, I have a Facebook group. It is Mrs. Izzy's Crafty Hangout. Please go join the group and share some pictures of what you did. All right, I hope you have a good day, and I will see all of you in the next one. Bye, guys.